Welcome, my fellow risers, to another episode of Reinvent to Rise. My name is Pamela Alamala, and we will be going through a very, very interesting topic today. For those of you who are not aware, we are currently running the 90 days challenge every day, Monday to Friday at 12 p.m. Pacific and 3 p.m. EST. And for those in West African time zone, it is 8 p.m. If you haven't joined us on one of those sessions where you just have a goal, vision, and work 30 minutes with peers on the online who are doing the same thing, please join us. Okay, so now that that is out of the way, I will be sharing my screen with you and diving into our topic for today, which is reinventing your personal brand. Reinventing your personal brand. So, if you have listened to some of the conversations we've had in the past, we've talked about many things. We've talked about why you need to overcome fear. We've talked about a few things here and there that is important and critical for the journey of reinventing to rise. Now, your personal brand is also one of the things to think about on this journey. So, our agenda for today is we're going to talk about why personal branding matters. We will also be talking about what is your personal brand. Signs that you need to reinvent your brand if you have to. I'm not saying you need to. And the key elements of a strong personal brand. Also, we will look at what to do and what not to do. And we will also look at a simple brand boost checklist. Let's dive in. So, why personal branding matters? Why does it matter? Why is it something we need to even think about or talk about? Personal branding is your reputation in motion. Yes, I get it. For those engineers out there, those architects out there, those more conserved and preserved individuals out there, I know, I get it. I have been on that boat before. Yes, I can see the wheels rolling, but it matters. You see, your personal brand speaks before you do. And that's what people see, sometimes feel, and touch before they have contact with you. And so it's a critical part of the journey. In today's digital world, your personal brand is as important as your resume. So, what is a personal brand? You will be asking. Well, some people say it's, you know, how your logo looks. I've heard all sorts of definitions of personal brand, but basically it's what people see you as, what they say about you when you're not in the room, what they remember you for, how you show up online and offline, right? How you show up every day. I mean, if you show up as a dynamic person, people see you that way. If you show up as a conservative person, people will remember you that way. How do you show up? How do you show up? So, a mix of your values, it's your voice, your presence, your story is what comes together to be called your brand, if we want to have a formal definition to it. I want to share this resource with every one of you, and is the story of Lisa Nichols. She went from being broke to millionaire. I will not go into her story so that I don't give you too much spoilers about it. But this is a single mom who had $20 in a bank account. And How she used branding to change her story is a resource that I would love every one of you to have a look at over this long weekend. Signs that you need to reinvent your brand. You've outgrown the vision of yourself that people still recognize. So there's one thing I noticed that we have the tendency, especially those of us in either nonprofit industries or we're busy, and everybody's busy, right? We have that tendency to say, well, I did all this work to put my brand out there 5 years ago, and why do I have to do that all over again? Or why do I have to refresh that? Well, the truth is, if you really are an individual with a growth mindset, you must have grown, isn't it? So if you grew from where you were 5 years ago, your brand identity should morph as well. And so that language needs to be shared, and people need to see that morphing taking place. If you feel invisible in your field, if you feel like nobody knows you for what you are doing or what you're capable of doing in your field or your sector, it's time to look at reinventing your brand. If your online presence doesn't match your current goals, so online, everybody sees you as one thing, and then really your current goals have changed. I personally have had to go through that a few times, because when you're working through either a program or a plan and things happen, the world around us is changing, there's that need to go back and look at what are we doing that we need to doing really well, that we need to continue doing well, and what are the things that we need to modify and update. And when you do that regularly, that really also is a pointer that you need to revisit your branding. And also, when you're entering a new career, you're venturing into a new space, you're venturing into a new life season or phase, these are all signs that, yes, this great thing is happening, this change is taking place. Are you remembering to go back to everything that represents your brand and update that? That is so, so important, especially for those who do not feel seen in their space. Okay? The key elements of a strong brand, I'm going to just read these right out to you, and then you can noodle on those after a while. Clarity. Who are you? Consistency. Access to, platforms, your communication patterns, your actions. Is your action really truly supporting who you say you are? Authenticity. Yeah, your story, your values, and your voice. How authentic are you being about what you believe? Okay. And I say this all the time, even with our teams. I say, like, we tell people, we teach people this, we guide people around this, we do this, we do that. It has to reflect in what we do internally. So if you look at whatever you're doing and whatever you say you are and what you're doing is going contrary to that, we're not talking about perfectionism, but we're talking about taking a good look at that and making sure that there's alignment. So that when you're not in the room, when you're not in that space, people will share about that authenticity. And then visibility. You can have a powerful brand that's not visible. And I know that sounds weird, but think about it. You could be this amazing person, amazing business, amazing um, contribution to society. But you could probably maybe just have a page online somewhere and it's not even targeted at your audience. So you have a fantastic brand, but it's not reaching the right people. Even I have to work on that. So this is something we need to remind ourselves all the time to do. And then, so if we take all that into consideration, what is the reinvention process? Okay. How do you reinvent around that? And so these 4 items here on the list, let's take a look at those. You audit your current brand, audit it, Google yourself, review your social media and bio regularly. I know people who created a LinkedIn account like donkey years ago, and who they describe then is still who they are on their LinkedIn bio. That is something you want to begin to think about reviewing regularly. Okay? Review your new direction. Define your new direction. Pardon me. What's your new direction? If you have one, and if you don't have a new direction, reiterate your current one, right? It's not about doing something new all the time. It's also about amplifying what is already going great, right? What do you want to be known for now? And then third, you want to align your message. You want to make sure that your visuals, your content, and your conversations are aligned with who you are now. And then you want to show up with purpose, okay? You want to show up with purpose. You want to engage. You want to share. You want to speak. You want to build credibility. And that is so critical as well. So what you don't want to do, right? You don't want to copy somebody else's brand. You don't want to try to be everywhere. Yeah, some of us have been through that journey before. But you want to be where it matters, where it's critical and it matters, right? You don't want to wait for perfection either before you start. Oh my goodness, that is huge coming from someone who is a recovering perfectionist. Okay. Several years ago, a lot of things I would want to start them, I would want to work on them, but guess what? I would keep telling me, oh no, I'm telling myself, oh no, it's not ready. I want it to be absolutely perfect. The day the bell dropped for me in my mind that you do not need perfection to start was the day I was mentally liberated. And since that time, I have gone on ahead to be involved in tens and tens of projects and amazing opportunities that shipped without perfection and iterated with excellence, right? And so you want to think about that and make sure that you're not holding yourself down with that concern of perfection. Don't ghost your audience. Don't ghost them. Don't just disappear. Start showing up, and then boom, they don't see you. They don't hear anything from you. Guess what? I am learning, and I believe a lot of us are still learning, that your audience are more forgiving than you know. They want to see you there. They want to know that if they click subscribe, you're thinking about them as well because you're honoring that opportunity. But we had an incident once when we had a channel of ours go silent for 9 months, and I asked the individual that was responsible for that role, for that work, what happened that we were silent for 9 months. And the response the individual gave me was really mind blowing. Under no circumstances should you ghost your audience. Okay. So I hope that you remember some of those what not to do, sharing those with you, not because of perfection or perfectionists that we are, but so that you can know the things to avoid. Now, let's look at what a simple brand boost checklist can look like. Your updated LinkedIn and social profiles. If you're somebody who is involved with Brave Achievers and you're thinking about career transitions, or you're looking at doing something fantastic for yourself as a small business, you really want to make sure you do have an updated LinkedIn and social profiles. You want to have a clear and consistent bio as well, and visit that bio often. You want to share valuable content weekly, but hey, even I don't do that sometimes. Sometimes life happens, but it's a target. Monthly is somewhere to begin. Weekly becomes a target. And there are people who do this every day and they're rocking it. So find your space, okay? And network internationally as well. Don't just think in your comfort zone. When you network globally, you begin to see and hear the dimensions of people around the world. I am privileged to have lived in many countries of the world. And in terms of everything I've learned in my lifetime, I think meeting those cultures, learning from different perspectives has seriously enriched my life. And I would encourage you to do it now that you don't have to travel to meet people. You can meet them online simply through media. Okay. And then speak up where your audience is. Wherever your audience is, find them and speak up there. Okay. Remember that a personal brand is a living thing. It grows as you grow. It's never too late to pivot with your brand. In fact, if it doesn't grow, if it doesn't morph, uh, I would probably be a bit concerned. You're allowed to evolve and to reintroduce yourself. Absolutely. Feel free to do it, and nobody's going to judge you. All right. And if you already have a personal brand, now is the time to take control of it. Go and reinvent with intention and watch the doors open. It's been fantastic chatting with you all. And I want to make sure that I share with you again the 90 days challenge. Start your challenge on your own via the YouTube channel. Just join us any day that you have the opportunity to join. I would say today is a perfect day to do that, or tomorrow. Well, tomorrow is Saturday, so I would say Monday. We do it Mondays to Fridays, 90 days, and I believe today is our day 14. So it's been absolutely a wonderful pleasure sharing with every one of you again today. I hope that you will take your personal brand very seriously and begin to work on it. 90 days challenge could be an opportunity for you to spend 30 minutes a day on your brand over 90 days. And you will be shocked at what the results would be. Once again, this is me, Pamela, your fellow riser. Have a wonderful weekend ahead, and I will see you very soon again. Thank you.